Welcome to Link by Golf, the podcast that brings you inside stories and conversations from the world of golf. I'm Ross McGuire, and today I'm joined by pro golfer Tom Spreadborough, fresh from qualifying for the Sunshine Tour in South Africa. We dive into his journey from starting at Farnham Golf Club aged 12 to competing at county level, training with Dennis Pugh at the golf college, and then finally earning his spot on the international stage. If you're enjoying the podcast, please share it with your friends and subscribe. It really helps grow the community. Let's get over to Tom. Welcome to this week's podcast, Tom Spreadborough. Hey Tom, how you doing? Great to see you.
Hi Ross, you're right. Yeah, good, thank you.
Brilliant. And Tom, delighted to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on. And we'll start with some brilliant news for you, Tom. You've just qualified for the Sunshine Tour down in South Africa. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels really good. Just been playing pretty good. So just happy to get a full Sunshine Tour card for this coming season.
Yeah, and I mean, I've jumped straight into the most recent thing for you there, Tom, but it's been a long journey. So how did you get into golf and how long have you been playing and where did it all start?
I started playing golf, I think when I was 12 at Farnham
Okay.
Golf Club. And yeah, I just was having lessons with the local pro Luke. And then just was in their academy, and then got given a handicap, I think of 54, I think back in 2012 when I first started. So then I worked my way down to, I think it was about 18, I think, when I played the rookie tour.
Right.
So that took me a couple of years. So then once I got down to 18, I could play in the rookie tour.
All right.
I think it was, and then just played that for a couple of years, got my handicap down even more, um, and just all went from there really, and then got down to scratch and so on. So
Yeah.
so yeah.
And then did you play for the county when you came through that development
Yes,
period?
I played. I'm trying to think. I think I played under 14s county, under 16s, under 18s, and I think I might have played a first team match as well.
Right.
So, and then I was obviously England regional squad as well. So yeah,
And you won things like club championship at Farnham and I think and at Hindhead, didn't you?
I won at Farnham, but I didn't actually win at Hindhead.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah, Dave Corbin and Kieran Lovelock. They've got multiple.
Right, okay.
So
And what kind of age were you when you won the Farnham club championship?
was 18, I think, 17,
Okay.
18. And then 2019 I turned pro. So I think it was the 2017 or 18.
And just before you turned pro, I noticed, did you go to college, a golf college?
Yeah, I went to golf college in Sussex. Paul
Right.
Lyons and Dennis Pugh, they run it. So I was
Wow.
there from 2016 to 2018. So I was there for 2 years, really enjoyed that. That improved my golf. I think I went from scratch to about a +2, +3.
Uh-huh.
So that helped. Yeah.
And so was Dennis Pugh, was he coaching you at that time in the sense of when he was helping out for the college? Were you getting much time with
Yeah, so
Dennis?
we actually managed to see Dennis once a month, just for,
Wow,
I think it was 20, 30 minutes. So
that's
obviously having
brilliant.
his knowledge and stuff is quite nice. So obviously he's a well-known coach. So yeah, it was good.
Yeah. And was there any results as you came through that experience at the college that kind of stood out for you as an amateur?
Um, I obviously played England tournaments. So I played the Rees Trophy, the Carris, the Gregor. Um, but yeah, I wasn't, as an amateur, I wouldn't say I was. I would say now I'm probably a lot better player than I was an
Uh-huh.
amateur, and my results show that. So, but definitely being going to the golf college has helped me loads. just because we were doing mental toughness as well, so
Uh-huh.
that helped as well. So the mental side, and then I started the gym as well because before
Right.
that I wasn't really into it. So we were doing a
Uh-huh.
bit of gym stuff. Um, yeah.
And then you said you turned pro in 2019. So what did that look like? How did you start out?
So I started off playing. I think it was March 2019. I turned pro. So I went to Portugal and played a few winter series winter series over in Portugal. And then I played Jamaica, which is just like a mini tour, and I played TP Tour as well, which is another mini tour.
Uh-huh.
So that's what I played for the first year of turning pro, and then in 2020 I went back out to Portugal for the
Right.
first 2 to 3 months, and then obviously COVID hit in the end of March
Yeah.
2020. So that was almost a write off that year.
Right.
Um,
So that had a
and
huge
then yeah,
impact on your
yeah,
development then.
yeah. So you basically lost about a year and a half because you couldn't move up, play, couldn't do Europro, you couldn't play Challenge Tour, you couldn't move up.
Yeah.
Um, so you were just stuck really. So
Uh-huh.
I couldn't even go out and practice.
Yeah.
So it was difficult, but it was the same for everyone. So yeah.
But then after that, Tom, I know that you went to Portugal again and you had a really, really good winter. So that must have been, was that 21, 22 or 22, 23 you went? 21, 22 was it?
I I think it was 2022. I think yeah, because I won the Order of Merit.
Uh-huh.
I won the Order of Merit on the Portugal Pro Tour. I also had a win over there as well. Um, yeah, because then last year I played it again, the Portugal Pro Tour, and I had another win in the February, I think it was 2024. Yeah, it
And how
was.
much time, so back in like 2022 when you were there, how much time did you spend out in Portugal and what do you feel like you learned from that experience? As obviously winning, but what else?
I would say it's just trying to keep your competitive golf up really
Uh-huh.
through the winter because over in the UK you can't um, you just can't play golf because it's just wet, windy. Yeah, it just keeps your competitiveness going during the winter. Um,
Yeah,
and obviously, it's great to win. And yeah, just keep learning all the time.
yeah, and
So
I think that's a feature, Tom. So, I mean, what was it like to be living down? I mean, you basically lived down there for about 3 months. Did you know? What was that like
yeah,
for
it
you?
was. I think yeah, we came back. It's January to March, but I think we came back in February for like 2 weeks. I would say yeah, it's a good 2 months we've been down there. So
Yeah,
um, so yeah, it's the weather's decent. Um, about 20, 22 degrees. So yeah, it's just a nice temperature to play golf, obviously, compared to the UK. So yeah,
and then fending for yourself as well. So you're looking after yourself and getting
yeah,
accommodation and all that kind of stuff,
yeah,
traveling around.
booking everything. Yeah. I actually made a little bit of money from it, which is
Yeah,
quite surprising because obviously mini tour golf, it's hard to make money.
yeah, of course.
So I did have a good trip in 2024 actually. I made a little bit of money, so which was
Brilliant.
nice.
Yeah, and then from there, you went to try and qualify at Sunshine Tour last year in 24, is that right? I'd love you to talk about that experience and what the background was.
Yeah, so yeah, last year, actually this time last year, Q School's actually earlier this year. So, but yeah, last year, obviously it was a new experience for me. Never been to South Africa, so I didn't really know what to expect.
Uh-huh.
And I was going on my own as well, so everything was new.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, so I had to do first stage. So I got there, I think about 6 days before, just
Uh-huh.
to get used to the grass because obviously it's Kikuyu, so it's a totally different grass. And the greens were a bit grainy as well, so had to get used to that as well. But luckily there was no time difference or anything, so it was just quite straightforward in that aspect. And I actually won first stage,
So where was
and
where was
then
that hosted, Tom? Whereabouts in South
that was at
Africa was it
Benoni,
for? Right.
Joburg.
Oh, okay.
Benoni Country Club is
Uh-huh.
the name of the club. So yeah, it was in Joburg. So it was about 28 degrees, so it's quite a nice temperature.
Yep.
Um, yeah, it was quite a fiddly golf course, had small greens. But yeah, it was good test. I think I won it about 4 under, I think, five
Uh-huh.
under the four
Yeah.
rounds, which I was quite shocked at. I thought it'd be lower, but um, but yeah. And then final stage was the week after. And I just didn't quite play as well. And then unfortunately, I just missed out by two to get a full card.
Oh
So
wow. Jeez.
so yeah,
You
it was
only
quite
so you
close.
only missed last year by 2 shots.
Yeah, yeah. So which was frustrating. But yeah, golf's frustrating.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. But then, I mean, that sounds like a key moment as well for you, Tom, that you did miss out by 2 shots. So what was your feeling like coming away from there last year, and what kind of things did you do to get back into practice mode for this year?
Yeah, obviously I was very disappointed. But once I spoke to some people back home, you've obviously got a load more opportunities coming up. So it wasn't like the end of the world, but at that moment in time, it kind of did feel like that in a way, sort of like,
Yeah.
what am I going to do now? Um, but yeah, then I ended up just speaking to a few people and even my coach. So he said there's going to be a lot more opportunities. Yeah, you got a lot more time, so don't worry about it. Just pick yourself up and yeah, just move on and just get better for next year
And
or
then,
the upcoming season.
yeah, so what did you do last year in terms of the main body of the season? And so that would have been from around April
So
time. What kind of things were you playing on?
so I flew back, I think end of April, and then I had a couple of days, and then I was um, going to play clutch. So
Right.
that was the first event. I think it was like the 1st of May. So I had like 2 or 3 days. Um, and actually, my clubs got left in Joburg.
Oh no.
So I didn't have a practice round for this tournament on clutch. So it was just got the clubs at 8 o'clock at night the day before round one, and had to drive to Oxford. So yeah, it was a bit of a rush. I actually made the cut, so it was actually not bad in the end,
Yeah, that's
considering
good.
I had no practice round. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I just played a mixture of tier one and tier two last year. So yeah, and then I went to DP qualifying in September in Sweden, um, and then unfortunately missed out by two to get to second stage.
Oh no.
So yeah, that
Two,
was frustrating as well.
2 shots again,
So
my goodness.
yeah, got the wrong side of the draw. Bad
Right.
weather, high winds. It's just what it is.
Uh-huh. So what course were
So
you at in Sweden? Where were you?
Arlandstead,
Right. And what was that
it's like
like?
Stockholm,
Uh-huh.
by Stockholm.
Right.
So it's a good golf course. It, if you're a good iron player, that's what it suits.
Uh-huh.
Um, because some of the greens are protected by water. So
Right.
if you pull it, you're in the water, or if you miss it right, you've kind of short-sighted yourself, especially if you've got a right flag because you don't want to miss it left because of the water.
Uh-huh.
So it's quite a tricky. Yeah, your approach play's got to be strong. The greens are always good there, so because I've done it twice there, I missed by one actually another year. So
Oh my
um,
God.
so yeah, so I've had quite a few close shaves, but yeah, but
And
hopefully
then,
this I feel a lot better in my game now. So hopefully I'll be able to
yeah.
get through that.
And what about some of the players you're playing with in these events over the years? What are those people like, and what have you, I guess, what have you seen from them, and what have you learned from them as well?
I would say, like in Portugal on the Portugal Pro Tour, I played with some DP World Tour players, uh, Pedro
Wow.
Figueiredo
Uh-huh.
and Ricardo Santos.
Right.
And there's not a huge amount of difference,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know what it is. I don't feel like I kind of feel I'm not that far away at all, or pretty
Uh-huh.
much the same level as them. So I think it's just trying to play well at the right time or getting a lucky break potentially. Um, yeah, I just don't feel like I'm that far away at all.
Yeah, because I've been on the range at a couple of DP World Tour events, and I'm sure you would observe this, Tom. To be honest, apart from maybe 10% of the field, you don't really see much different. Guys are just everybody's striping it. They all do
Yeah,
similar things. They go in the chipping areas. They all look really good at chipping. They go in the putting green. They all look really
yeah,
good at putting. The difference is literally keeping it together when they're out in the course, right? That's it.
yeah.
For the
And
most
under
part,
pressure as well.
yeah. So
You need
what
something in your swing that can hold up under pressure as well.
so what do you feel like you've learned on that as well as you've had your development through the years? What would you say has changed over the most recent times?
Well, I've actually swapped coaches in October,
Uh-huh.
long game wise. So there's just a few things setup wise that we've changed because I've always been a drawer.
Right.
So as whereas my path was getting too neutral,
Uh-huh.
so I was getting a two-way miss.
Right.
So because obviously if the face isn't square, then obviously if it shuts a little bit, it's going left. If it opens, it's going right. So it's kind of as whereas now I'm kind of getting it more path to the right, three
Uh-huh.
right, and it's just a lot more consistent. I know what the ball's going to do. So, and there was some other things. My feet, the pressure in my feet was all out. So I was
Right.
turning into the balls of my feet, my right foot.
Ah, okay.
So as whereas it should be turning into the right heel
Uh-huh.
into the backswing. So that was another thing that is just made. Yeah, it's just made my game
So your weight was on the front of your foot effectively when you're turning
turning
back the
in.
way on your
Yeah,
backswing.
yeah. So I was losing distance,
Uh-huh.
and that was what was causing my path to be more neutral.
Right.
So that's the main thing we've really changed,
Yeah.
and a few bits at setup.
Yeah.
Um, and now I just know I'm hitting a little push draw. I
Brilliant.
know what the ball's doing.
I'd like to take the opportunity to thank Lomond Golf Tours for their support. Let's hear from them now.
At Lomond Golf Tours Scotland, we understand that choosing the perfect golf trip can bring its challenges. With more than 500 golf courses in Scotland and another 2,000 around the UK and Ireland, many of our guests don't know where to start. But for Lomond Golf Tours, it's not just about the golf, it's about providing an experience that will exceed expectations, that will turn dreams into realities, and that will create memories that last a lifetime. Lomond Golf Tours have helped thousands of guests build bespoke golf trips to create a magical experience. Travel in style, whether executive chauffeur travel, whether it's golf on a major championship venue or one of our hidden gems, 5-star accommodation or a boutique bed and breakfast, or is it whisky tasting on a private boat? Lomond Golf Tours are here to help build the tour of a lifetime. Whether you're celebrating a special occasion or ticking it off your bucket list, embark on a trip that you'll remember forever. To learn more about our offerings for 2025 and beyond, visit www.lomondgolftours.com.
Now let's get back to the pod. I think, Tom, you've been unfortunate enough to be stuck with me in a golf course a few times, and that was over the space of a couple of years. But I have to say, I noticed a difference, and I don't mean a huge difference, but a noticeable difference in your ball striking from when I first met you, which would have been probably just before COVID actually, and then up to
Yeah.
22. So I'd love you to let the listeners know what things you worked on through that time, because it's not just about the golf swing. I know you've put a lot of time into other pieces of your
Yeah.
your
So I would
dedication to the
say
game.
there's obviously gym work as well. I've been pretty consistent with that for the past 4 or 5 years. I've been
Uh-huh.
working with a guy called Simon Brearley,
Right.
who works on the DP World on the DP World.
Wow.
So yeah, that's helped obviously. Getting stronger, doing golf specific exercises, and I
Uh-huh.
mean now I'm up to about 120 club speed, 121. So I
Wow.
mean I'm pretty. It's probably average, I would say, maybe
Yeah.
slightly over average. But I used to be, I think, 10, about 10, maybe 111, 112 over COVID because I lost a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So I've managed to kind of get a little bit heavier and do some golf specific exercises to try and get my swing speeds back up again.
Right.
So, and obviously my strength is a lot better as well now. So, yeah, I'd say that's another part of what's helped me. Um, yeah, I'd say those, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. I would
So
say.
what kind of ball speed you knocking out there? Somewhere between 173 and 180?
Yeah,
Something like that?
175.
Yeah. And
So,
that's
yeah,
you've
that's
jumped
just
then
normal.
you've jumped
I,
probably from what, 160?
yeah,
Maybe
one,
162?
yeah, it's probably 8 mile an hour ball speed, maybe
Wow.
6 to 8.
And for the folks listening that don't know, I mean that's about 25 yards in the air, which is a huge difference, right?
Yeah, about 290.
Yeah. So then suddenly the bunker at 275 that you're looking at I can't carry, suddenly you're carrying it.
Yeah,
Then your par fives you're getting up into. I know playing with you at
yeah,
Farnham,
yeah,
suddenly the 11th hole you're slapping it straight over the back of that into the wind,
yeah,
and I'm just like,
yeah,
wow, that was different. But you could
yeah,
really see that change, right? There's a huge difference for you.
yeah,
Brilliant. So then, Tom, you've put all that work in, you've rededicated yourself last year and pushed yourself and had a little bit of disappointment, I guess, out in Sweden, but you kept it going and you went back to South Africa. So I'd love you to talk about getting back there and what happened on the Bushveld tour, because that was where it
yeah,
started, right?
yeah.
So what was
So,
that like?
so yeah, so obviously I saw Hugh Mize, my new coach in October. Saw him
Uh-huh.
two weeks before I went out to South Africa. So I wasn't really expecting too much, especially for the first few months I was out in South Africa. So obviously I've got new things working on in my swing and bits and pieces. So yes, I think I left to go to South Africa about the 17th, 18th of October. So I just played Bushville and also Big Easy,
Right.
which I didn't realise I had. If you make the cut at Q School, you get a Big Easy card, which I didn't realise till I got home. So I thought, oh, I'll go and play the Bushville Big Easy from October, November, January, February, and March.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that's what I did. Struggled for the first few events, just getting used to the climates because obviously it's their summer.
Yeah.
So I was playing in like 30 to 35 degrees. So obviously that's new for me as well. So
Yeah.
knowing how far the ball travels when there's no wind as
Playing at
well, because
altitude sometimes
obviously,
as well. Yeah.
yeah. So I did that, and then I think, yeah. So when I went back in January, trying to think it was the end of January. The I think it was the second race to Q School. I
Uh-huh.
finished third,
Right.
and that's when it all kind of kicked off. When I started playing really well. Um, I think there was 10 of those race to Q schools on the Bushveld, and I think I missed the top 10 once. I
Wow.
had I think it was 3 seconds, a win, a third, and then a few other sort of sixth or seventh finishes, and then one of them was a 17th. So yeah, then that I won the race to Q school.
Wow.
So
That's
out of
really
those 10
cool.
events, so which then got me straight into final stage of Q school this year.
And the thing that I want to point out for the folks listening, you've kind of made light of that. You only played about half the events that anyone else played in. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah. So actually, in the main order of merit, I played I think 10 or 11 events,
Uh-huh.
and I actually finished sixth. I think in the end, in the
Yeah.
actual main order of merit, and I think there was about 26 events in
Yeah.
total that some people would have played.
Wow.
So I've played probably less than half,
Yeah.
and I still finished sixth
Brilliant.
in the order of merit. So yeah, and then obviously I won an event on Bushveld, which was quite
Hmm.
nice. That was in I think the first week of March. Um,
And
and
what
then
kind of
yeah,
format were the Bushveld Tour, Tom? Were they 2 round events or more?
I would say they're 3 round events.
Oh, okay.
So I think I shot 8 under, 3 under, 2 under. I think
Uh-huh.
so. So yeah, I led every round. Um,
Brilliant.
so yeah, it was good.
And then you're playing, I mean, you're making light of it, but you've been in South Africa last year, but you hadn't been in South Africa for a good few months. You're then back again, adjusting to different grasses, incredibly different climate,
Yeah,
and then leading a tournament from end to end. So you've got that
yeah.
pressure from the start. So what do you think for you has maybe not necessarily changed, but developed over your time playing? What do you think is different now for you?
I would say, especially with what I'm doing with Hugh, I think my golf swing holds up under pressure a lot better.
Uh-huh.
I would say. So I kind of feel like if I know what the ball's doing, it's easy. I can put the swing on it. I know what feel I've got, and I can just produce it.
Uh-huh.
So, and especially at Q school, I think the guy was two ahead with two to go, and I've hit it to 6 foot on 17 the par three, hold it, and then 18 at a decent tee shot, just gone into the semi, and I've hit it to 15 foot from about 180.
Uh-huh.
With obviously you've got a camera guy, you've got people standing at the back, so obviously under that situation, there's a
Yeah,
bit
of
more pressure.
course.
But I was just like, let's just go straight at it. What have I got to lose?
Brilliant.
So went straight at it, and yeah, just missed by a couple of inches.
Yeah.
So I sort of feel like my golf swing is good under pressure now.
Uh-huh.
So it's a lot easier. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, and then the overall qualifying itself, what was it like overall? What did you feel as you were going through it?
I would say well we had some delays. Round one we had I think there was a fog delay, and then there was a thunderstorm in the afternoon.
Right.
So I was on the 18th, and the klaxon went. I was on the green putting out, and the klaxon went. So
Dear.
so we all had to come off, and then we sat in the clubhouse for about 2 hours, and yeah, we didn't go back out in the end. So I had to come back the following day, hit two putts at 7:30 in the morning,
Nice.
and then we went back to the apartment, sat there for about 6, 7 hours before our next tee time.
Uh-huh.
So then we played 3 holes at about teed off at 5 o'clock, played 3 holes, and then we had to come back the following day at 7:30. So yeah, that's what we did, and then I played 30, was that 35, 33 holes um, on the third day. So and I just went about my business and just play golf, and then was 15 under after 3 rounds.
Wow, 15 under.
Yeah,
And you're not talking about an easy golf course, right? I mean,
it's no, it's a little bit wide, but if you're offline, you're in hazard.
right.
So you do have a little bit of leeway, but it's
Uh-huh.
not a huge amount. Um, so there was a
And
few holes on that golf course that you kind of just have to respect and take and play and make it a hard four easy bogey. because if you start hitting driver and you go offline sort of 10, 15 yards, you're in bushes.
With the
So then
snakes.
you lose a golf ball, quick
You're not,
double, quick
you're not
triple.
going in there.
So
Yeah.
I was just plod it, and I was, I think, 1 over on the 7th, which is probably the hardest hole, and I was level par for the 16th, which is the other one.
Uh-huh.
So I played those in 1 over and probably gained about 2 or 3 shots on the field
Brilliant.
just from doing that.
Yeah, that's really good. And
Um,
just going back, what course was this at, Tom, for the qualifying?
it was just south of Joburg, so it was called Heron Bank.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, they had Q School there last year as well, and obviously this year. So I knew the course well. We played a bush veld there a couple of weeks before as well. So I had a
Well,
good,
that's helpful.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I had a competitive round there, so which was nice.
Brilliant. Yeah, and then you went into the final round. How much were you leading by in the final round then?
3,
Okay.
yeah, by 3 shots.
Brilliant. And how many places were going to get a card then in the tour?
So top 20 got a card,
Okay.
but you really need to finish top 10 to get into the first 4 events.
Right.
Um, Otherwise, you have to pre-queue for those.
Okay. Wow.
So yeah. So fortunately, I've obviously finished second, so I don't need to pre-queue. I can just get automatic straight into them, which is quite nice.
And how did you feel given you've had such close heartbreak the last couple of times you Sunshine Tour last year and then DP World Tour? What were you feeling like in the final round going to the first tee?
I was actually more nervous, like in the final round, than I was when I was playing round 3. Um, I mean, all the guys that I was playing with, they were like, "You're going to get your card. Even if you shoot 5 over, you're going to get your card."
Oh, don't tell me all that kind of stuff. That's the last thing you
So,
need to hear as well, isn't it?
so I was like, "Well, yeah, but I still want to perform and win."
Yeah, of course.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I was just nervous the whole day, even on 18, when I think third place was still, I think 3 shots back. I was still
Wow.
nervous. I don't know why. I was just nervous the whole day. It was really weird. I've never been like that on the golf course. But yeah, I think I shot 4 under with a bogey. So and I lost by 1. The guy shot 10 under on the last day.
He shot 10 under the last day.
So
Wow.
yeah, I mean, fair play to him. He played well, but it was just another frustrating that I didn't win it.
Was
But
he
it's
in
just one of
you
those
was he in
things.
your group or was he a group ahead or something?
He was a couple of groups ahead, like 3 groups
Right.
ahead.
Uh-huh.
So there was leaderboards, so I knew what he was doing, but I didn't
Right.
realise he was 10 under on the day
Wow.
because he started at 10.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
My goodness.
yeah.
But then you've made it. Tom, you've done
So I
it.
made
You've
it. Yeah.
and I guess do you think that maybe the nerves came from the fact that I mean you've been working for this for so long, you just want it so much, right?
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. It's trying to get your expectations right as well. Because if you want it too much, you don't quite perform. So it's just trying to drop that and just play golf.
Yeah, absolutely. So then Sunshine Tour, tell us all about the Sunshine Tour. South Africa, when does it start? What's it involve?
So I go to the first events in Zimbabwe, which is the 8th of May.
Brilliant.
Um, so yeah, that's a bigger. I think that's. I've heard that it's probably one of the better events.
Right.
I think there's like VIP areas. There's obviously you got cameras every week, so that's another thing you got to get used to. Um, they've got. I think that might even be. I don't know if they said there was about a couple of thousand people watching. So it's quite a
Fantastic.
big event for the Zimbabweans and stuff. So yeah, and then got the next tour in Joburg, and then we go to Zambia. So and then we'll come home for about 5 weeks as they have
Wow.
like a winter break.
Right.
So and then they've still got to release the schedule yet. So just waiting on that.
So how many events do they typically have? Is it something like 25, 26?
So there's about 25 with the 8 co-sanction events with the DP World and Challenge Tour. So
So
there's
are
probably
you,
about 15 to 18 events.
so how are you placed then for getting into those co-sanctioned events? Does that now
So
depend on your results or?
yeah, I think it does. There's all you've got pre-queues for them all.
Uh-huh,
So that's what I'll have to do, I think, unless I win an event, the
right.
Sunshine Tour event. I might be able to get into certain events maybe.
Uh-huh.
But obviously for me, this is all new, so I still don't 100% know what you have to do to get into them. All I know at the moment is I've got a pre-queue for them, so that's how I'll be able to get into them. And top
Brilliant.
10 get into them for the pre-queues
That's
and qualify.
fantastic. But
So it's
then,
a big opportunity.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's your, because it's really just the level below, effectively DP World. I mean, it's almost like a
Yeah,
halfway house to the Challenge Tour, right? You're kind of,
yeah,
it's a similar level because of the access to the DP World Tour events. It's not just like being in
yeah.
Challenge Tour even, because you can get into DP World events actually easier in some respects.
And also the top 3 have DP cards as well. So at the end of the year on the Autumn Merit, you get top 3 get DP cards.
Wow, that's really cool.
So yeah.
Brilliant. So then, Tom, along that way, how are you managing to get yourself around all these countries? Have you managed to meet a good number of guys that are from South Africa, and how's that been?
So I've met when I was over there, obviously for these 5 months, I've made quite a lot of new friends. Um,
Brilliant.
so they've been helping me out with lifts and stuff to tournaments, which has been quite nice. And then they invite me to stuff in the evenings, barbecues, well they call it braai. But yeah, so it's been good actually, good fun as well. So I will be travelling with them because
Oh,
they've
that's
also got
cool.
their Sunshine Tour cards now. So I'll
Yeah,
be travelling. I think there's 4 of us, so it should be good. Should be good fun.
that's really brilliant. And then, Tom, talking about life outside of golf, what do you do to keep your life balanced? I know you play a lot of golf, and I know you
to
work hard at it, but do you do anything else? And what is it you do?
be honest, I don't. It's just all because I don't have enough time. I'm just always, I don't know, just too
Always,
dedicated, I suppose.
always got a golf club in your hands.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
But yeah, to be honest, I don't actually have. It's just all golf.
Yeah,
So it's all
fantastic.
dedication. Dedicated.
And then what about things that people might not realise about somebody who's, I'm going to call you a touring pro. I mean, you're touring all over now to run a professional golfing life. What things do you think people have got no idea about?
I think people just think that you're traveling around and don't know what goes into it, i.e., what you um, I can't think of the word now. What you give up, I suppose.
Uh-huh.
Sacrifice, I suppose, is the
Yeah.
word. Um, to become tour player or whatever it is, it's you've got to give up a lot and put so much work in. And at the end of the day, it might not work, but you're putting in the work to see how far it can take you.
Yeah.
And I don't think people realise how hard it is and the
Yeah, it's
fine
not easy.
margins,
It's not easy,
especially
Tom.
travelling. Obviously, at this moment in time, I haven't got any time zones. So if you're going from, say, here to Asia, obviously you've got to deal with obviously the flight and then obviously the time difference. I think they're like 7 hours ahead.
Yeah.
So you've got to deal with trying to play golf tired.
Yep.
Um, so it's not all glamorous.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Even just the field sizes, how many people were in the Bushveld tour on
100
a regular
and
basis?
between about 100 and 120, roughly.
Wow. Mostly South
Um,
Africans, I would guess.
Mostly, yeah. And then the sunshines are about a 144.
So
The top 60 make the cut.
putting that in context, regardless of you playing well, Bushveld Tour, you're up
Yeah.
against 100 people
You've
that
still got to play well.
effectively live in the country. And
Yeah. It doesn't matter what level you play at. I mean, Bushback, you still got to shoot 12 to 15 under for 3 rounds.
yeah.
So it's not easy.
And Sunshine Tour, I mean, you're going to get to play with some unbelievable golfers there because all the South African guys, they spend a lot of time on the Sunshine Tour
Yeah.
as well as DP and other tours.
Yeah. I mean, you've got JC Ritchie, who's played DP World. You've got Daniel Van Tonder.
Uh-huh.
He's probably going to get his DP card back. I think he already has, to be fair, through the Order of Merit this year. So yeah, there's Casey Jarvis, I think, has got his DP card last year. So there's a lot of guys from South Africa that have actually got their DP cards through Sunshine Tour.
Yeah, and a lot of the guys, even the very top guys that are playing US Tour or Live or whatever, they still go back and support
Yeah,
Sunshine Tour events from
yeah.
time to time, the bigger ones, right?
Especially the Nedbank. That's $1
Yeah.
million, that one. So it's a bigger event.
Wow. Fantastic. And do you need to qualify for the Nedbank or you'd be into that
I
one?
don't think I can get into that. It's got to
Right.
be. I'm not really sure, but I think it's probably only like the top five or whatnot from the Order of Merit, maybe.
Okay.
I'm not sure on that one.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Obviously, because it's all new to me, I'm still learning what I can play in and stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah,
No, it's fantastic. A great achievement, Tom. So look, let's get you towards getting out of here. We'll do a few quick questions.
yeah.
Favorite course you've ever played?
Oh, that's a difficult one. Where are we talking? Just
Anywhere.
anywhere?
Anywhere.
I've got. Oh, that's a difficult question. That's really difficult. Could I go top three?
Yeah, top three. Go for it.
I'll go top three because I can't choose. Um, I'd go. I like Wentworth West,
Yep.
Sunningdale.
Never played it yet. I'd like to.
Um, I would go. There's one in South Africa, Blair Apple. It's quite nice.
Right. Yeah, I've heard of that.
They've had actually a DP World Tour event there.
Yeah, I
I
think they
think
had one last
the
year, didn't
SA
they?
Open or Joburg Open. I can't remember which one it
Yeah,
was.
I think just last
Um,
year.
yeah, but in South Africa, there's so many nice courses. I mean, I couldn't really choose. It's just there's just so many. Um, but yeah, I'd say those. Yeah, and Hindhead, obviously, where I'm a member attached to. I mean, that's good as well. So I love playing that every day. I play that every day.
It's a brilliant golf course. I've played it a couple of times. It's fantastic. Really,
Yeah.
really nice. So, right, next one. Best shot you've ever hit?
Well, I made an albatross when I was an amateur at Blackmore, and that was right down the flag. So I'd say that's probably one of my best. I'd say.
Arguably harder than a hole in one as well, because people don't
Yeah,
tend to
it
get
was
as
a
many
3 iron from
albatrosses
about
right.
230.
Yeah, we'll take that. Brilliant. Okay, being in South Africa a lot, I think I've got the answer for this, but what's your go-to post-round meal? What you typically having after a round to eat?
I'd say steak,
Good choice in South
steak and
Africa.
chips. Yes, yeah, steak's good over there.
Okay, and last one on this. One piece of advice you'd give to, I mean, you're pretty young yourself, but golfers younger than you, Tom, that are just at the start of taking on this challenge of, being the best player they can, what piece of advice would you give them?
I would say, especially being younger than me, I'd say have fun and keep enjoying it. and just keep practicing.
Brilliant.
Because if you've got talent, it can only take you so far. So you've got to put the work in to get better, even though you have talent, if that makes sense.
No, absolutely, 100%.
So hard work always is going to be more than talent.
Brilliant. Great advice. Okay, so just wrapping up then, Tom, in terms of socials, people want to follow your journey and see what's happening on the Sunshine Tour. Where can they find you?
Instagram and also Facebook. Those are the only two I really use. So, yeah, I don't know how are you going to put it on.
I'll put it on the show notes. Yeah, I'll put your
okay.
your Instagram profile in
so
there, and
just
I'll put the
Instagram
Sunshine
and
Tour
Facebook,
as well.
Yeah, and then they'll just find weekly updates on there or on my story or whatnot.
Brilliant. Well, listen, Tom, I'm so delighted for you making the Sunshine Tour. It's been great to see your progress, and I'll say your determination. You've really put a lot into it, and you've kept going, you've kept believing, and you've got better every year. So congratulations, and thanks for coming on the podcast. It's been brilliant to have you.
Thank you, Ross. Thanks for having me.
Cheers. That's it for this episode of Link by Golf. A big thanks to Tom Spreadborough for joining us and sharing his insights on his development and path to the Sunshine Tour. Having been fortunate enough to play some golf with Tom, I can say his progress has been incredibly consistent and he's getting better every year. I'm sure he'll continue to grow this year, and you can follow his results on the Sunshine Tour. If you enjoyed the episode, share it with your friends and hit subscribe. It really helps support the growth of the show. And a final thanks to Lomond Golf Tours for their continued support. For a truly unforgettable golfing experience in Scotland, get in touch with Ian and the team. Until next time, take care and thanks for tuning in.